Sam, Master Giacomo. They both flew with the 445th Bomb Group out of England, and that was my father's bomb group. So these two gentlemen flew in the same flight element with my father. So we're going to have each one talk about their books briefly while I ask them a couple of questions.
My book is all about being a POW in World War II. We were living north of Berlin on the Baltic Sea coast on a peninsula surrounded by water on three sides. We were never mistreated. The German Air Force did what they could to help us. The food was sparse, but pretty decent. We got farm products, corn, cabbage, all the things that you would normally expect. And one great advantage was they raised sugar beets. And when our calories got too low, we were given additional sugar. So we had to learn to make candy.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Right.
Hungry for food but making candy?
Right.
Well, that's the way it worked out.
So what mission were you shot down on, Major, that you became a POW?
I was shot down on number 2 after raiding a huge aircraft assembly plant at Gotha, Germany during the Battle of Bigwig, a 5-day campaign against all the aviation outfits in Germany.
Right. And so you flew under the command of Major Jimmy Stewart.
Yes, Major Jimmy Stewart at that time was the captain.
Right.
And as time went by, he got promoted to major.
Right. That's an AT-6 flying over.
If you can't hear me, don't bother.
Go ahead. You're good now.
We go on with
Major Jimmy Stewart, Captain Stewart. Right.
He not only flew during World War II as a squadron commander, and later he moved up the chain and he retired from World War II as a colonel.
Right.
Later, he trained with the B-52.
Right.
Back in '66.
Right.
7th training class at Castle Air Force Base, Merced, California.
Right.
His last mission, I've been told, was over Hanoi in a B-52.
So how would you describe Jimmy Stewart as a commander and as a person?
The best thing a commander can have is being an actor. He can portray any emotion he wants.
Well spoken.
That's a part of leadership.
Right.
And a very important part.
Very good, Major. Well, thank you for sharing that, Major. Do you have any words you want to share with those who will be reading your book? Anything further?
Yes, I want them to know that there were many honorable people in Germany who did not harm us, who helped us through the war,
right,
and did things that they weren't required to do.
Right.
My book has a whole chapter on German Air Force chivalry.
Right.
Another chapter on cuisine.
Wow, very good.
Yes.
And what's the name of your book again?
Kriegsgefangener,
right,
which means war prisoner. Krieg is war. The S is possessive.
Right.
Gefangener means prisoner.
Very good, Major. Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
Okay. Sam, can you give us about a 30-second description of your book? You can tell us the title of your book.
Forgotten Country in that order.
Right.
I didn't speak much of what happened in my family or children, but once in a while I started telling little short stories that would happen. Pretty soon they said, why don't you put all those short stories together and write a book? Well, I thought about it. There was two other fellows on one group who were going to write a book.
Right.
But they took notes and record everything, but they never wrote a book. They got it off. And I thought it was up to me to write the book.
Right.
So I'm not too good at writing or grammar, but with the help of my wife, she urged me to write this book.
Right.
So I've scribbled down little stories and put it all together. And, as you know, I got a book.
Very good.
I read other books that were like 400 pages, 430 pages.
Right.
I had a hard time getting up to 100 pages. But I didn't believe in writing the little details in a book. That I just want to write the things that were important to me.
Right, right.
So I came this book out and very successful. Never got any complaints. Everybody raved about it.
Oh, that's great. Both flew on the Gotham mission February 24th, 1944. So my understanding is, Sam, you were the tail turret gunner on your plane at that time, and Major Roos, you were flying ahead of him?
Yes, in front of the formation.
So when you were attacked by German fighters, Sam was shooting at what, FW-190s?
Yes, and that was the first time.
These were twin-engine aircraft with rockets.
So they were ME-110s? 110s or 210s?
Yeah, 110 aircraft.
Right, right.
The diameter was, I think, 23 centimeters.
Wow.
About 8 3/4 inches in diameter.
Right.
It was not aimed at individual airplanes, but at the formation as a whole.
Right.
Because it was intended to scatter the planes so their fighters could get in.
Right. So, Sam, you saw 2 rockets shot at your plane that went underneath your plane. Can you describe that?
Yeah, I was sitting on the turret, and I see this swinging plane trying to line up on us. And as he got too close, I give him a blast of my machine gun.
Right.
And he'd hold back. And then he tried to get close again, and I give him a blast again. And I noticed these 2 things under each wing. It looked like bombs or tanks.
Right.
But we didn't know it about at the time that the Germans were using rockets. It's probably the first mission that they used it.
Right.
All once I've seen these rockets coming towards us.
Right.
And I hit that airplane and I seen it smoking, but anyone, the rockets that come right for my tail turret, and I thought that was the end. I mean,
right.
They say that a shell has a name on it. Well, it felt like these rockets had my name on it.
Right.
And I thought it was the end, but then all at once we got up to our plane, it was split and went under our plane.
And so when it went under your plane, Major Roos, do you think those 2 rockets hit your plane?
They did not hit us because if either one of those rockets would hit you, the airplane would be disintegrated, kill everybody aboard.
Right.
They were very big, very powerful rockets.
Right. So they were just enough to break up the formation a bit. Wow. So did the fighters come in more ferociously after that?
Well, we couldn't tell we were on fire, so we had to jump.
Right. So that's when you bailed out, and the big picture of this mission is that the 445th Bomb Group lost how many planes on this mission?
13 planes out of 25.
13 out of 25. So this was the worst loss in 8th Air Force history to that date until the Castle mission happened, I think. Right, from one bomb group. Wow. So you both survived the Gotham mission, even though you became a POW, and later on, Sam, you became an intern in Sweden.
We landed with a lot of damage on our airplane.
Right.
And out of the 25, we had 11 come back.
Wow.
And there was two more, another one that landed, force landed on another aircraft.
Right. Now, Sam, you had mentioned to me when you landed back at Tibenham, Jimmy Stewart was waiting for the crews to come back, and you saw Jimmy Stewart after you got off of your plane. We'll have you tell us about that briefly.
Well, no sooner we come to a stop at our hard set, Jimmy Stewart came over with his, he was driving the Jeep, and you want to know how he did. And the navigator says, we lost pretty near all our airplanes.
Right.
So Jimmy Stewart covered his face like with shock. He just got back in his Jeep and drove off.
So he was feeling the losses as well, and you said the tone of the base after that was pretty somber, knowing all those men have been shot down. Well, is there anything else you two gentlemen would like to add to the video? I'm going to finish up in the next minute.
I can add about Jimmy Stewart. I later flew B-52s with him.
Right.
I was in the first training class. He was in the 7th grade. And he flew combat missions over Vietnam in the B-52.
Wow. So Jimmy Stewart served until 1968, and he flew his last mission with Strategic Air Command in a B-52. And you were in that flight element with him?
No, not after that.
But you had flown with him after the war. So basically the way you see Jimmy Stewart in the movies is how he was as an officer, from what my father told me. Would you two gentlemen agree with that?
Oh yeah, he was.
He's also a very brilliant individual.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
But he and Henry Fonda started an acting class at Princeton
Right.
in 1924 when I was 2 years old.
Well, it's interesting that both of them served in World War II, and you look at all the actors that did give up their careers to go in, but the most notable one was Jimmy Stewart, and both of you men had the privilege of serving with him. Well, thank you for taking the time to share your stories with us, and we hope your books do well in sales. Thank you for writing them, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Very well.